We may be divided, but of you all I beg to remember we're all hooked at the end of each leg. Share, you gotta care. It's the right thing to do. You gotta share, you gotta care. And there'll always be a way through.
It appears that Sheriff Silverstar and I have come to an agreement.
We have.
That was the worst performance we've ever seen.
Absolutely.
Why won't anybody be rational and reasonable?
Now that's politics in a nutshell. Hello, I'm Discord Jedi Knight, and going into this episode with as much caution as possible. Look, this is a very touchy subject, and My Little Pony is far from the first show to tackle such issues. Hell, in the comics, we even fight alongside deer trying to protect nature against the evils of big business. These topics are always going to be relevant and should always be delicately handled. This video is less about the subject matter on the discussion of land righted, is more of a fun deep dive on the story presented to us and its lesson. Because let's face it, there is no way I can justify a topic like the colonists versus true natives in a YouTube video without being completely looking like a villain, whatever stance I take on it. This is just one of those types of issues, and I flat out hate politics. Instead, let's actually stick to the script. This is a video about rainbow-colored ponies, for God's sake. In LP Season 1 episode 21 Over a Bear, REL starts out with Applejack being all motherly to a tree. I told you she was motherly. Truly, she's the element of caring more than honesty, but I already made a video on that topic. Hey, I said I already made that video. I'm not going into a tangent this time. Now, why don't you clean out the ship already? I'm supposed to make video and entertain the masses. If I don't, we don't have power for the ship. I don't care, clean it up and get these pesky bugs off my ship already. Yes, H, you just can't find good help these days. Can you believe it? He honestly thinks because he does the ship electronics that is an excuse for not cleaning out my ship. Anyway, if you notice some bugs from time to time in my videos, it's because this place is a mess and neither of us had taken care of the trash. It's even started to pile up something nasty in the corner. The tree named Bloomberg is a gift from Applejack to her cousin, who wants to start his own crop in his home, the Wild West, but where he was trying to grow it was on the land of... What you mean they're back? What a swarm of... Oh no. Parasites incoming. Yes, I agree we should run. In there. Let's go. Ooh, okay, so now we have a problem, an infestation of a bunch of pests. Oh, but I still have my video to make. Fine, while we search for some instruments, we'll continue with the video, I guess. Anyway, where was I? Oh, right. The buffalo wanted to stop them from growing on their land, so they attacked. Once they get to Applejack's cousin's place and explain the situation, we find are trying to set up shop as pioneers, but the buffalo, for some unknown reason, is just tearing apart all their hard-earned work. Meanwhile, Pinkie Pie and Rainbow Dash try to save Spike, but turns out they like dragons and so they're cool, so long as Spike says so. They learn about the buffalo's point of view and go to town to settle things out. Unfortunately, like all politics, that doesn't go anywhere. A rookie hires a tuber that should work to get those pesky bugs out. All right, let's head to the ship, shall we? Anyway, the buffalo and the ponies soon decide to go to war. It's a kid show, so how are they gonna fight? Well, the ponies decide to throw apple pies at the buffalo, who decide to bulldoze them down and run over their corpses. Yeah, that's a little violent. Honestly, the ponies stand no chance, but somehow cartoon logic, the pies actually hurt the buffalo. Well, I guess they're not as tough as they look if all it takes is one pie to defeat. They fight until the chief buffalo gets and is defeated, and as he lay there dead, some apple pie drops in his mouth. Well, turns out he's not dead and he likes the apple pie. Turned out it tastes good, and so they soon decide, all right, we'll let you grow some apples if we get a cut from it. A deal is struck and everyone is now happy again, a simple yet effective compromise, teaching kids the value of sharing, caring, and deal-making. I truly think how this episode was only supposed to be a fun lesson about compromising using the classic cowboys versus Indians tropes. And don't think the writers in any way were trying to put in a message on the matter of land politics, but I can't deny that the implications do create a look in justification. But I'm going to stop there because I don't want to even touch that subject. This video isn't about that. The episode, I don't think, was supposed to be about that. It was about compromising. And in the real world, all the time, people make deals with each other comprising, giving permission for something if they give something in return. However, in the concept of sharing, I actually really hate the so-called steps it took to get there. It's the same issue I find in MLPG5 when Sunny and her friends take over the old factory of Sprout. Sunny in that episode claimed that the place belongs to the people, and because of that it should be up to everyone on what to do with it. This is a straight-up line that teaches a horrible message. Let me explain why. Say I have money. I worked a job. I had earned that money myself with my hard work. Okay, now, I have the money and I buy a candy bar. The candy bar is mine. I bought it. I don't owe anyone else the candy bar. Now, isn't it a bit selfish to eat that candy bar? Yes, it is, but it is my candy bar, and if I chose to be selfish and not share it, then it's my problem, not anyone else's. Now here comes someone who wants a candy bar, but doesn't want to earn money. He just wants everything to be handed to him. He's a lazy jerk who demands my candy bar to be shared with. Him saying it's the people's candy bar, he should get a piece. And instead of getting off his lazy ass and working for it, he decides he wants everything handed to him. How is this fair? How is this caring? Let's say I sort it. He's just minding his own business and I chose to share. Well, then I would maybe gain a friend out of it, wouldn't I? That are the options I have. Either be selfish and not have friends, or share my bar and maybe gain one. In G5, Spout owned the building, and Sunny should have tried to convince him through the art of how to properly share and talk things through. Making a deal. Dad should have convinced Sprout to do it. But here's the thing, Sprout should have come up with something he wants in return. And what could he get in return? More friends who could actually like him now, since he is the host of the coolest hangout spot in town. That would have been a proper compromise. He gets friends and they get a place to hang out. It's one of the many reasons why I don't like the G5 writers. Because I feel so many people today are way too entitled and don't want to make a deal. Which, by the way, even Sprout doesn't need to give them the place either. He would clearly have to weigh the options, either having friends or having an empty building. Same goes for this G for episode. The land is the buffaloes. They lived here first. The ponies should have come over and tried to convince them on making a deal. And the buffalo could have kicked them out, or could have weighed the option of getting fancy pies, so they compromise. It's nice and all to say you got to share, you got to care, which I think is the lesson this episode was trying to say. But the truth is no, you don't. If I don't want to share my candy bar, I don't have to, nor do the buffalo have to share the land. That is the lesson I feel as though My Little Pony was trying to teach with this episode. Yeah, they failed. Which is why, in my opinion, this is a bad episode and I'm giving it a 4. The only reason why it's not 0 is because it's actually very entertaining, but it doesn't get any lesson across in a good way. Neither does G5. But I do like the buffalo designs and do wish they were a part of the School of Friendship. In the latter seasons, I'm sure there was, we just didn't get to see them, but I do understand why an LP chose never to touch this subject again, and instead focus on even more complex and complicated subjects. God, I love this show. Oh, here we go. Okay, G, for you open the door and I'll play the tuba. Let's get these pesky buds out of our lives. On the count of 3. 1 to 3. Oh, well, would you look at that. They actually made this place look sparkly clean. Eating all the garbage. A compromise. I'll let them stay so long as they clean my ship. Just watch them, G, for make sure they don't eat the power cables. Never mind. G, for you have some work to do. Anyway, what do you think about this episode? Let me know in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe for more videos. If you missed my last episode review, here's the playlist, by the way. Like, share, subscribe, and remember, my friends, don't take what isn't yours without asking, and remember, friendship and the art of the deal is magic.